Good evening. My name is Celia Rudolph, and I am the Vice President. I'll be presiding this evening in absence of our President, Clayton Wood. But I would like to call this meeting of the Muscle Shoals City Board of Education to order at this time. And I would like to welcome all of you. It's great seeing all of you here tonight.
All right. Thank you, Madam Vice President. First item on the agenda, I recommend tonight's agenda for board consideration.
All right, the superintendent has recommended approval of tonight's agenda. Do I have a motion?
Madam Vice President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
All right, thank you, Dr. Davis. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, call to vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, sign of nay. Hearing none, Dr. Holden, the motion carries. Agenda is approved.
All right, great. I'm going to move to the lectern. First of all, we have some resolutions that we're going to present tonight. We have a large group of students and their parents and supporters who are here. And it's always good to celebrate student achievement, especially at a board meeting. And especially when you're talking about things like state championships and national championships. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it, right? So we have several students obviously here tonight that we want to recognize. And first I want to bring up Aaliyah Williams. Aaliyah, if you want to come on up. Aaliyah is the 6A state discus champion, right? Let's give her a hand. I'm going to read this resolution. It says, whereas the Muscle Shoals City School System diligently strives to uphold the long-standing reputation of being a school system of excellence, and it is acknowledged that discipline, practice, and healthy competition contribute to the pursuit of excellence, and whereas the Muscle Shoals City School System strives to instill in our students a strong personal values by holding high expectations of excellence in academics, fine arts, athletics, citizenship, and character, and personal discipline which contribute to a successful community. And whereas the Muscle Shoals City Board of Education commends exceptional athletic achievement and gives special honor and commendation to those who pursue such excellence, that they become examples for the youth of this community. And whereas on May 7th, 2022, Muscle Shoals High School track and field member Aaliyah Williams, under the leadership of Coach Katrina Smith, competed and won the title of 6A State Track and Field Champion in discus. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Muscle Shoals Board of Education and Superintendent commend Aaliyah Williams for this outstanding accomplishment presented this 23rd day of May, 2022. Let's give her another round of applause. All right. This next group, since it is a group, I'm going to read the resolution first before you guys come up, and then I'll let you come up, maybe get some pictures and that sort of thing. But these next two groups are national competitors, and we were super excited of the good news that they brought home, the way they represented Muscle Shoals at the national level. I'm going to start with the rocketry team. It says, whereas the Muscle Shoals City School System diligently strives to uphold the long-standing reputation of being a school system of excellence, and it is acknowledged that discipline, practice, and healthy competition contribute to the pursuit of excellence. And whereas the Muscle Shoals City School System strives to instill in students strong personal values by holding high expectations of excellence in academics, fine arts, athletics, citizenship and character, and personal discipline which contribute to a successful community. And whereas the Muscle Shoals School Board commends exceptional achievement in the school system's academic programs and gives special honor and commendation to those groups who pursue such excellence that they become examples for the youth of this community. Whereas the Muscle Shoals High School rocketry team, consisting of 4 team members under the leadership of sponsor and science teacher Holly Brooks, competed in the American Rocketry Challenge against 724 teams across the nation, earning a spot among the top 100 teams invited to compete in the national fly-off in the Plains, Virginia on May 14, 2022. And whereas the students under specific requirements excelled in designing and launching rockets in both first and second rounds of national competition, allowing them to finish 20th in the nation and qualifying them for the NASA Student Launch Initiative. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Muscle Shoals Board and Superintendent commend Muscle Shoals High School rocketry team for their dedication and countless hours of practice during and after school that led to this outstanding accomplishment, presented this 23rd day of May 2022. Is Coach Brooks here? Come on up, Coach Brooks and your team. I had the honor of seeing them presented. Let's give them a hand. Guys, I've got certificates for each of you in this packet, as well as one for you, Coach Brooks. Coach Brooks, share with them just a little bit, kind of the way you did with the council the other night, just some of the facts about this rocketry team. It's really not that old of a team, right?
Right.
I mean, how long has it been around?
This is our really third year, but second to compete because COVID, they canceled everything that year. And so they basically have to build a rocket from scratch to meet certain specifications. They have to go to qualify 835 feet in 40 to 44 seconds. And it carries two raw eggs, and they can't break when they come down. We've come close a couple times, but they've never broke one. But while it was in the rocket. He's giving me that look. But then when they get to nationals, they had to do two rockets that had other specifications, had to be 810 feet and 860 feet with different time restraints. So they had to figure out how to make that rocket work and get it to go that height and that time. And they were pretty good at it.
Obviously,
really good at it. So
in their third year, 20th in the nation, pretty big
That's
deal.
big.
Let's give them another round of applause. All right. This last group. Whereas the Muscle Shoals City School System diligently strives to uphold the long-standing reputation of being a school system of excellence, and it's acknowledged that discipline, practice, and healthy competition contribute to the pursuit of excellence. And whereas the Muscle Shoals City Board commends exceptional achievement in the school system's fine arts programs and gives special honor and commendation to those groups who pursue such excellence that they become examples for the youth of this community. And whereas in April 2022, after competing in Huntsville and Knoxville, the Muscle Shoals High School Percussion Ensemble, consisting of 16 members under the leadership of Director David Waters and instructors Griffin Hood, Dwayne Allen, and Christopher Sherman, earned a gold medal in the International World Championship held annually in Dayton, Ohio, with a score of 96.9. It's important to note that only 7 out of 180 groups scored above 96. Thus making this the third gold medal earned by Muscle Shoals High School percussion ensemble teams since 2008. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Muscle Shoals Board of Education and Superintendent commend the Muscle Shoals High School percussion ensemble for their dedication and countless hours of practice during and after school that led to this outstanding accomplishment. As they come forward, let's give them a round of applause. Ms. Hood, if you'll come on up. Waters, you come up also. We have he has a spring in his step, if you've noticed, because he's recently retired. He's one of those, when you write his name now, you put it in parentheses, RET period, right? So I'm going to let Mr. Waters and or Ms. Hood make some comments just about this group and some of the things they've accomplished this year.
How's work been, everybody? This group, pretty special. As all the groups have been special, but this one a little bit more so. I don't think we ever had a group that started where they did and traveled as far as they did. The improvement from day one to the last day was quite remarkable. We've been doing this for a long time. You know, we sometimes, you know, we would go to Dayton and compete nationally, and then sometimes we wouldn't. But we knew we were going to this year. We're coming out of the COVID years, and I knew I was retiring, and we were going to go back that time. And these students took on the challenge, unlike any other students that we had. They came together, and I think that's even among the students, they would tell you the same thing. I think the proudest thing, the medal, yeah, that's nice. Being told you're first place, being among the top 7 scorers out of all those groups, that's all nice. But knowing that they will remember how well they came together as a family, I think that's what really the trophy. When they look at the medal, that's what they're going to think about, and that's obviously what I'm gonna think about. And this is just a small microcosm of the whole band program. You know, we do this and we compete nationally, but this really should be a spotlight on our entire band program and everything that the band program has done. And take a moment to, I can't wait to see what Mrs. Hood is going to be able to do with the program. She's going to take it to new heights, and I can't wait to see it and not have to move any chairs at graduation and not have to set up. But anyway, extremely proud of this group and for all the years that we went up to Dayton, and so just especially proud.
So in this folder, I have certificates for you, Ms. Hood, as well as all the students. So congratulations to you guys. Let's give them another round of applause.
Want me to say, are you going to,
Do what now?
are you going to say you're welcome to stay or leave? You want me to?
You can.
At this time, we're going to continue our meeting. You are welcome to stay, but you are also forgiven, and we're
If you
okay
don't.
if you want to go. So we will even pause a moment if you
Yeah.
want to go. But thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. No, I think Amy's. Maybe. Who's not senior? Maybe.
Let's wait till that person gets out the door.
Is Miss Nichols leaving?
Okay, Dr. Holden, I think we can continue.
All right, good deal. All right, Madam Vice President, I don't have any correspondence tonight, and so we'll move down to our business action items under the consent agenda. We have, the board has been furnished with background material on each item or has discussed the item at a previous meeting. Consent agenda items will be acted upon with one vote without discussion. If a board member wants to discuss any item, it will be pulled from the consent agenda and voted on separately. For the consent agenda, we have the minutes from the April 25th meeting as well as the May 9th special called meeting. We have the bills and accounts for April, the April financial reports, and those bank statements have been reconciled. We have a budget amendment tonight, as well as establishing the board meeting schedule for the coming year and approval of the middle school annual DC field trip that is scheduled for October. Does any board member wish to pull any of these items from the consent agenda? Hearing none, I recommend the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, board, the superintendent has recommended approval of the consent agenda as presented. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
All right, have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, call to vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by the sign of nay? Okay, hearing none, the motion carries.
All right, I recommend the personnel report as presented.
Okay, the superintendent has recommended approval of the personnel report as presented. Do I have a motion to approve the personnel report?
I'll make a motion.
All right, thank you, Dr. Stoddard. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, call to vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Hearing none, Dr. Holden, the personnel report is approved.
Okay, for the benefit of the audience, the personnel report consists of the following, and this is quite lengthy, so if I misspeak, feel free to speak up and I will correct anything, Ms. Woolfolk. Under resignation and or retirement, 7 individuals: Brad Broadfoot, Janie Darby, Caleb Estes, Caroline Holland, Sarah Law, Dustin Phillips, and Teresa Toller. Under transfer and reassignment, Blake Beck from high school teacher unassigned to teacher, Muscle Shoals High School assigned to PE. Adam Cox from technology specialist 189-day assignment to technology specialist 240-day assignment. Andre Turner from media aide at Muscle Shoals Middle School and Muscle Shoals High School split to aide in the guidance office at Muscle Shoals High School. Blair Woods from teacher at Muscle Shoals High School, 208 days with a commensurate reduction in pay, to teacher English Language Arts at Muscle Shoals Middle School. That'll be effective August the 1st. Lee Waters from teacher at Muscle Shoals High School and Muscle Shoals Middle School, split assignment to full-time at Muscle Shoals Middle School, effective August the 1st. Seth Woods from teacher at Muscle Shoals Middle School to teacher at Muscle Shoals Middle School and Muscle Shoals High School, split assignment, effective August the 1st. We had 11 positions in our C&P program with contract day adjustments. We talked about that during the work session. Under employment, Lavera Warren Bates, system-wide C&P assistant assigned to Muscle Shoals High School. Kendrick Burns, guidance counselor at Muscle Shoals High School. Amy Reeves, special education pre-K teacher in the Muscle Shoals pre-K. Troy Rogers, social sciences teacher at Muscle Shoals High School. Drew Smith, social sciences teacher at Muscle Shoals Middle School. William Terrell, social sciences teacher at Muscle Shoals High School. Christy Whitlock, secretary bookkeeper, Muscle Shoals High School. Rachel Osborne, aide in the media lab at Muscle Shoals High School, Muscle Shoals Middle School, split assignment. All right, and then under other part-time special appointments, supplemental assignments, nurse substitutes, we did have a correction to the previous personnel report that was approved on May the 9th. Christina Turberville's transfer date is we had to edit that, change that. You see that on your report. Also, Denise Woods, director of the Muscle Shoals Early Learning Center. That's a temporary part-time position. Lisa Myrick, part-time contract teacher of Spanish at Muscle Shoals High School. Catherine Osteen, gifted ed referrals for the special ed department up to 5 days between May 27th and June 30th. Teresa Burden, summer job coach, effective May 27th through July 29th. That'll be grant funded through the Work-Based Learning Innovation Grant. We had some additions to the district summer 2022 reading camp staff. That's Jamie Sweeney, and that's only if needed, depending on enrollment. Additions to the summer 2022 enrichment camp, Jill McCabe and Stephanie Pless. And we had several additions to our community ed summer camp program, directors, enrichment counselors, student aid and office assistant, student aid. You see those names listed there. Lynn Holt, a retiree, services to support IDEA eligible students between May 10th and June 30th as needed. Lori Shelton, departmental support as needed for student services between May 18th and December the 31st. That'll be as needed. Mary Jo Sockwell, part-time contract art instruction at Howell Grace for the 22-23 school year. Jason Beal, contract artwork and painting project effective May 23rd until completion. And that'll be paid through the gifted ed grant funds. 3 contract principal renewals, Jeff Madden, Jason Simmons, and Shanetta Smith. Nurses as needed for summer 2022 for the various programs that will be going on. We're approving all of our nurses, but of course we'll be using the ones that we need on the days that we need them. So that'll be as needed. Groundskeepers, part-time temporary, Anthony Olivis and David Waters. Charlie Johnson to clean James F. Moore Stadium in the 22-23 school year. Additional days during the summer paid for out of the middle school office account. Quinethia Lipscomb and Kim Parrish. Sarah Lane McNew, dance team choreography in the summer of 2022. And then Maggie Tubbs, also dance camp choreography. And then we have information only, not for board action. We have 2 leaves, Holly Moody and Tori Lee. That'll be in the future, but flexible with medical needs. And I believe that's it. Did I misspeak on anything? All right.
You did a great job. Okay, thank you, Dr. Holden. At this time, it is time for our annual electing of board officers. In May of each year, the board elects a president and a vice president to serve in the coming year. The new officers will assume their new positions at the regular meeting in June. At this time, I will open the floor for nominations for board president and for board vice president.
I'd like to nominate Celia Rudolph for board president and Marilyn Davis for vice president.
Okay, are there any other nominations? Hearing none, is there a motion to close nominations and call for the vote?
So moved.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right, the motion to close nomination carries. So all in favor of Celia Rudolph as president and Marilyn Davis serving as the vice president, please say aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Are there any opposed?
I don't know what we'd do if that vote failed.
I don't know what we do either, but the motion does carry.
The motion carried, thank
And
goodness.
I do look forward to serving as president this coming year and especially working with Dr. Davis.
Awesome. Congratulations. All right, Dr. Rudolph, for my superintendent's report, first I do want to encourage everyone to go out and vote tomorrow. It's a big day with the primary election, and certainly we are living in challenging times and we need the most capable people leading us forward. So I encourage everybody to do that. I did want to commend also Dr. Pounders and Highland Park Elementary Coach Jill Green. They also wrote a grant. I mentioned a few grants that we had been awarded, and they have received a $10,000 grant for PE equipment at Highland Park. So we're excited for them and congratulate them and thank them for taking the initiative in writing that grant, in addition to the $30,000 grant that we mentioned during the work session that Ms. Stonecipher took the initiative to write. We received that, and that's really going to help our students in the very end. Just a few upcoming dates of interest. We do have the retirement tea on Wednesday. That's at 2 o'clock at the Career Academy multi-purpose room, and you guys are invited to be here for that. It's always an exciting time to celebrate the careers of the folks who have decided to let this be their last one. And then Thursday night, 7:30, hopefully at James F. Moore Stadium. We're going to have graduation. Obviously, if you've watched the weather, there is a forecast of rain. And so we did meet and discuss that today. And, you know, it's a possibility that we may have to go with our plan B. Hopefully we won't, but we're watching the weather closely. But in the event that weather does prevent us from being able to set up or rehearse or have graduation, it will be at Grace Life Church. And of course, you have to be able to do all three. If you can't set up for graduation at the stadium, if you get rained out that morning, then it doesn't matter what the weather does that night. You still got to have it at Grace Life Church. So we got to be able to do all three of those things on Thursday. So fingers crossed, we're going to be able to do that. But if not, Grace Life Church, we've done it there before. I think I've participated in it maybe twice over there, and it's a beautiful setting, air conditioned. That is nice. They'll do live stream for us and support us in a lot of different ways. They're great partners for us and have always been very, very neighborly to allow us to use their facility anytime we need to. So we thank them for that. All right. And then the last thing I have is one more resolution. I know you are tired of hearing me read resolutions, but we have a board member who, unless we have a special call between now and June 27th, and of course it'll be up to him whether he comes or not, I guess. But we do have a board member who is concluding his term of service. So Dr. Stoddard, if you wouldn't mind standing up. I'm going to read this resolution. It says, whereas Dr. Jamie Stoddard served as a member of the Muscle Shoals Board of Education for 5 years, and whereas Dr. Stoddard served in the capacities of both president and vice president, and whereas Dr. Stoddard displayed initiative and professionalism with students, parents, and employees in the Muscle Shoals City Schools, whereas the young people of Muscle Shoals have been the beneficiaries and the conscientious leadership demonstrated by Dr. Stoddard, and whereas the current term of office for him will be concluded in May of 2022, now therefore be it resolved that the Muscle Shoals Board wishes to express its appreciation and congratulations to Dr. Jamie Stoddard for his outstanding contributions as a representative of the citizens of the Muscle Shoals Board of Education. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be entered into the minutes of the Muscle Shoals Board and that a copy be presented to Dr. Stoddard. And I will say this, you know, when I became superintendent, July of 2020. That's the time when the whole world fell apart, right? It shut down, COVID hit, new superintendent, new board president, and it was a very challenging time to be in any kind of position, but especially a leadership role, trying to navigate all the uncertainties and things that were difficult then and still continue to be to a certain extent. But Dr. Stoddard was a great partner for me as board president. He has been a great board member. He asks good questions, tough questions. I mean, he's the kind of board member you want, someone who's going to take a lot of thought and consideration with every decision that he makes. And I don't know if any of the other board members want to say anything, but Dr. Stoddard, I appreciate you and thank you for your service, sir.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Hey, say that. I want y'all to hear what he said. That's the longest anybody's said anything good about me.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
We've enjoyed working with you very,
Enjoyed
very
meeting
much.
everybody and working with everybody.
Okay, board, we've concluded the agenda that was set before us. Is there anything else that any board member would like to bring before the board tonight? All right, hearing none, this meeting is now adjourned.